Gute Nacht. I am Count Mozart. This is another episode of the Count Mozart Show, the only immortal host in the world. You know what I mean? It's a fact. Welcome to the show once again. This one's going to be a great one, let me tell you, because we have so much to discuss. It's unbelievable. I want to start by saying, if you start to look at our past episodes of what I talked about, you will start seeing other people talking about it, and you're gonna say, "How does that happen?" You would think like, "Oh, Count Mozart, you watching this other show, and then you are speaking of it." Nein, it's not happening like that. I discussed with you, and I never lied to you. Like I said, what's the point? What's happening in the world is energy and connectivity, and we're all connecting on a spiritual level, on a cellular level, energetic level, all levels, interdimensional, really. I spoke about in one episode. I spoke about a good German, Werner von Braun.
Herr Hitler! Oh, Herr Hitler had this good chap next to him. Oh, good friend. And his name was Werner von Braun. And he was helping him with the V2 rocket. They didn't have a lot of time, so they would go up and didn't do so good. But a very smart man. And he was with the SS. Oh, very high division of the regime. The Reich. And, they're bad. And you thought everything is bad. But they're so bad that this man came here and ran your NASA. Yeah, you never knew. The big Nazi that ran NASA. Oh, I never lied. Here you go. You see that? But wait a minute. Oops. I got the better one for you because he's a dashing chap. A dashing chap. Look at this one. Now, this Werner von Braun also read a book, you know. You go look this up. Mozart never lie. And it's about the Mars and all this good stuff and the people who call the Elons. Oh, gee, really, the Elons. Where does that come from? Who knows? But here's the best snapshot, or snap as we called them in the old days. Not me, I wasn't around for that, but you figured out. Here he is with his real friends.
And now he was just in the news again, because Elon Musk received a tweet, or someone tweeted out about the book, like I told you that he wrote about Mars. This Werner von Braun wrote this book about Mars, fictional, yeah, right. And it was Elon, right? And so somebody, tweeted this out on X, and Elon responded to it like he had no idea what it meant, I find that hard to believe, but so be it. Maybe he tells the truth.
And it's very odd when we get into von Braun, we're getting into this idea of predictions over and over again. Well, as you mentioned, his mother was psychic. I got that directly from Russell Targ as well, who met and worked with him. And, he would tell him the stories about his mother. And his mother was very in demand in Germany. They would come to her for information on the stock market, politics, weather, earthquakes, whatever it would happen to be. So apparently von Braun himself inherited part of this. And so when he puts this in the book, and by the way, there's two books. There's Project Mars, and also, which I have here, A Technical Tale, and then there's The Mars Project. And it's quite fascinating because when he mentions Elon, and I'm going to read the actual quote, this is what he has to say back then in 1948. The Martian government was directed by 10 men, the leader of whom was elected by universal suffrage for 5 years and entitled Elon. 2 houses of parliament enacted the laws to be administered by the Elon and his cabinet. That's von Braun. It's a quote. It can't be denied.
I always tell the truth. So this is exactly what Count Mozart talked about, And they say that this Werner von Braun, his mother and he were both psychics. And I also brought this up on the last one of the episodes of the Mr. Spock one. I think it was that it was all about Spock and those plants. Remember the plants I talked about? You play some beautiful classical music, and plants, they love it. You play some garbage and they die. So I love it. It was such a good episode. But I was talking about things like remote viewing.
And I can appreciate it. But in society, I don't think we understand psychic activity, psychokinetic activity. The Russians were way ahead of us on this. They had programs where people could move things, and that was back in the 50s and 60s. They could move objects with their minds. So that's already on record that they have psychic warriors. And the reason we kicked in so hardcore with the financing of our own remote viewing program was because we knew theirs was so advanced. And that program, in fact, the Psychic Spies program on the record, the one that we have that's declassified, there's many more. I mean, this is just the superficial. But there were major things where they saved hostages in State Department situations. They got their own analysts out. They got their own diplomats out of shady situations where they were being held hostage using remote viewers, guys like Joe McMoneagle and Pat Price and others. So I think we need to view now. We can go on a totally different level with this, but let's bring it back around to the Elon Musk idea, because Musk, I can guarantee you that Musk is very aware of this. So when he put that post out on X recently, it's quite interesting because he and his family and all the rest are very, very aware of that prediction. And he's coming up and saying, how could this be possible even?
And then that was just discussed, remote viewing. I mean, I'm hearing all these things and, that's wonderful. I love that we are all coming together. Even people in this alternative media that are supposedly giving you the truth, but not always. You know what I mean? And if you've noticed in alternative media, right, you have people that used to be mainstream media now doing alternative media. And again, what did Count Mozart bring up in one of those episodes about the attention span of human beings being less than a goldfish? So you'll see a specific host who once hated a certain person or against this or that, and then all of a sudden now they just, they get on the bandwagon and they want more money and they want fame and glory, and they get on and they start spewing up the bull, So they start pretending that they care about you again and all this kind of crap, and don't buy it. Don't buy it at all. And just remember what Count Mozart also talked about on the last episode, the Tom Cruise with the AI. I love that one with the Tom Cruise. I hope he saw it, because I love his movies. Some people have a problem with them. He likes this and he likes that, and he whatever he believes in and stuff. Yeah, leave him alone. Enjoy what he does in the films that he makes, and leave people's personal things out of it, and just love one another. You know what I mean? Let that go. That's a side note. Anyway. In that episode, I was talking about, things AI and how it's not good and there's a reason for it. And then, boom! Check out what was on the cover of the Drudge Report. Hey, that's another aspect of it. It's money, money, money isn't funny. I like Abba too, they're a good group. Maybe I get one of them on here. Maybe I get the whole bunch. I think I can. You know what? We got a lot of good shows and we got a lot of good guests coming up. So that month's doing a lot of behind the scenes work. Get ready. And by the way, part 2 of my great interview with Heinz is in the can, as they say. And you're going to love it. I've just gone through it a little while ago when I, got under my coffin, and I was laughing a lot. It was a very good one. So anyway. But getting back to what I was talking about the remote viewing. I was talking about ESP. I was talking about all these things. And then I was talking about your CIA. And, oh boy, you can look at about the 21 astronauts, your CIA, your NASA, they would pick the best, the ones with the most psychic abilities. Guys, this stuff exists. So when people want to laugh at you and make fun of you, or you listen to this Count Mozart talking about psychic and psychic ability and remote viewing, and you know what? You tell them to go, fly a kite, because they're living in little boxes. And they do not see the world. It's interdimensional. Beings can come into your dimension. It's not good, some of them, but it's happening, and this is a fact. Go look it up. Maybe I post something showing this kind of thing, but there are astronauts that have explained, encountering these energies, And it's people who are kind of open to it too. Like if you are open to things, your spirit and your soul are open to it, and it happens to you. I am sure that there's people out there that things have happened to you that you wow, you almost probably don't want to tell anybody, do you? But it's happened, and it's a fact. Do you know that there's people who can? I can take a needle, like a pin, like a sewing needle, and put it in a little matchbox, and put it there. And there are people that, with their mind, can take that needle and break it, but a clean break, like a separation, and then put it back together with their mind. Do you think Count Mozart is cuckoo? There is nothing that can't be done. Think about it. Think about a Polaroid camera. You know what a Polaroid camera is? Click, click, and zee. Think about the technology of that. How does it know all the colors, and all this kind of stuff? These are cool questions. Of the TV and all these little dots and all this kind of stuff. It's matter.
Still on the beam with this because, of course, the thrust of it is that we are surrounded by energy and matter. And there's a huge psychic component throughout all of these events that we talk about, the so-called deep state events. You've had psychics like Gene Dixon in the middle of this with Richard Nixon all the way back to FDR. They've utilized psychics and astrologers. There was the huge astrologer flap during the Reagan administration. And of course, Trump also has some very interesting connections on that side. When you get to Musk acknowledging this and that von Braun predicted it, of course, he's been aware. You and I have put this on the record and others. And it's interesting too, because your show also has a tendency to have a lot of predictive aspects to it as well. So when you're on that beam, things come to you.
Energy. We've talked about all this, but the point that I was trying to make, how I bounce around, is that I was very surprised when I started hearing these very well-known alternative media people talking about remote viewing, talking about Werner von Braun, talking about all the things Count Mozart gave you weeks ago. And why? It's just it comes to Count Mozart, whoop, just like all my music came to me. It came to me, and I share it with you. Hello. Listen to me. I love you all. We are flying high. We are taking off. We are going to hit the stratosphere. I mean, we are, man, good things are surrounding us. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? I feel it. And I feel your energies. As I sit here, I feel your energy. Isn't that great? So, there's nothing you can't do. And I know you're going to say, well, you sound like a broken record. You always say these things because I want to break the spell that you're in. Your pineal gland, and that's been, your fluoridated water and all these wonderful things that have been done to you. Because there are some things, look at your Hindu culture, when they put that little dot there. Look, there are things that you are created in such a way that opens up these portals to help that energy I told you about to connect with other things and other people and other, interdimensional things. I know I'm talking, you're like, oh my God, this is a really, all over the joint on this one. Woo-hoo. But come on, you start opening up to this. Quantum physics and all this is, your world will never look the same, which is good. And I've discussed the electromagnetic, and by the way, look at some of the creatures that we have, the butterflies and these geese, these certain geese with the rods and the cones that are inside them and their brains. And, they can, this monarch butterfly can go from Canada down to like Mexico, doesn't have no GPS. Well, it kind of does, you know what I mean? From the earth. It's very powerful. Come on, And the geese, same thing. The geese can be up in the Canadian geese, and they fly to Colombia, and they're not going down there for coffee, if you know what I mean. They know what they're doing, and so do you, and so do we. But a lot of this has been turned off. You following me on this? A lot of things, through genetics. You have a mommy and a daddy, and if the mommy and daddy things were turned off on the mommy and daddy, or one of them, and then they have a baby, then the baby, it's going to be turned off. You have amazing powers. You all do. And you are not utilizing them. Some of them are turned off, but just like anything else, you can be detoxified, and you can turn them back on. But you got to stop doing the bad stuff. And some of the things I want you to try, because it's one thing if I just keep, spewing out this information and blah, 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 and not giving you any... Don't you hate that? Those shows where they're like, this is that and that and this. But then they never give you any solutions or try this. Hey, try it. You might like it. But Count Mozart's going to do that. So what I want you to do is I want you to fast a little bit. Don't eat so much food during the day. You don't need that. You can have something the evening before and then fast a little bit. Maybe have some tea or something like that. Don't eat too much, because even again, I go back to that Bible of yours. Where they would fast. Because there's something about the polarity and the electromagnetic currents that are cycling the globe, and in each person that you meet. Each person is electric. It's amazing, So when you're a little cleaner, it is more powerful. Those receptors. Just letting you know. So, but again, back to the pineal gland and all this kind of thing. These are almost like little portals. So what I want you to do is try that. Just do it a little bit. You don't have to do it a lot, but try something new, and then see, and then you pair that with meditation or silence, or you sit there and you manifest things and you create them. We create them together. So we're doing that right now, and you probably don't even realize it. I like the ones on the YouTube who do the tarot cards and stuff, and a lot of that is true. They have a lot of energy because they're using it from the universe. The universe is built a certain way, and man, it's all connected. Some people are frauds, of course, but some people have abilities. Do you know that a lot of the presidents do go to psychics, the real deal, and they know, and these people, they tap in. Here's another thing, just to, I like to throw things just to let you, little seeds into your brains, your brains and your spirits and your souls, you know what I mean? They're all together. Well, think about it, you are the present, you're the future, and you're the past. You could do it anytime you want with an echo. Echoes? So if I say something on a mountaintop, I said it in present. It goes. And then it bounces back, right? So that's amazing. It's present, and then it's the past because it's gone. It just, whoop, it's gone. And then it's the future because it comes back to you. Think about it like that. But echoes are very important. Echoes are very important, and the vibrations are very important. And that has to do, again, with the interdimensional, world. And this is, I will post a couple things on the astronauts who have discussed it. And, even your directors, like Stanley Kubrick, one of my favorites, and, the Obelisk. People have said that he had psychic ability. He could remote view. I guess he was visited by the CIA, saying, "Oh, you know about this stuff," and he did a lot of, he was on the money. So I wanted to touch on those things, and also to remind you that when Count Mozart brings things up, oh yeah, like I said, I was bouncing around. I wanted to rewind a little bit. To the AI, that it's also it's a control and a monetary thing. Okay, so just remember that you're being controlled, and you're gonna find out really soon about this whole AI thing that they're just ramming down your throat left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. So I want to say that I love you all, and we will be coming back with another wonderful episode very soon. And visit countmozart.com, and you'll find some updates there. So I have to go and feed, but I want to wish you all happiness, health, and love. Most importantly, love. And I thank you all for listening and watching. This was kind of just an update, of all the things that we talked about, and maybe just trying to solidify our relationship together. So I'm not full of it, okay? Man, I've just begun. I haven't released half the stuff like I'm gonna tell you. I just want to, again, we're growing together. So anyway, love you all. I'll see you soon.